Do we need to have his mic?
Oh, his mic?
Hello?
Yes. Yep, we're on. Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the post-match press conference. We have head coach Nick Cushing. We'll actually get started with the Zoom first. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Scott Cherson?
Hey, Coach. Thanks for the time. My question in this case is the last three matches, the team has lost the tie to the eventual game winner 75 minutes or later. For these three matches, what's happening in the second half of the second half that's causing this to occur? Thanks.
I think it's hard to say there's one thing that's happening. In previous games, we've made individual errors. In this game, we give up a chance when we're pushing for the game, and of course, it's incredibly disappointing, and we want to go from tying to leading, but we're just in a difficult period at the minute, and we're aware of that, and we've been here before, and of course, we'll fight through it.
Christian Hennig?
Hi, Coach. I know during that last little run that you down when the team was winning, you didn't want to get too up. Is it the same situation here where you can't get too high or too low with it?
Yeah, of course. I think I'm well aware of football in general. You can't get too high when you win, and you can't get too low when you lose. I mean, it was only 4 or 5 weeks ago we were talking about clean sheets, and we were talking about undefeated streaks, and now we're in a run of 3 defeats. So the nature of this league is that you're going to go through difficult periods, and we've had the luxury of having our league position because of our results. We know this is maybe our little bump in the road, and we'll stick together and we'll continue to work, and I have full confidence and full belief that this group will go on and turn this run into points.
Chris Campbell?
Hey Nick, I know you mentioned individual errors previously in regards to goals let up. Tonight there was 3 goals let up, and Sean kept a few more out back from that. What happened tonight in terms of that led Charlotte to so many chances on that?
I think first half, we controlled the first half completely. They had 1 chance, and it was the chance they scored from. So I didn't see so many chances for them in the first half. Second half, of course, they tried to press us, and we give up a few chances from set play, and I actually thought 2 or 3 of the saves were half chances that Sean made. I just think we're in a moment where we're losing players to injury. We don't have so much depth, and we're rolling with the same team. And maybe in the second half, we're going to go through those waves of momentum of where we have moments and we give up chances because we're pushing to try and get the lead. And of course, we'll go back and look at the video and see if we can deny teams chances. But at the same time, I was really pleased with the way that the team played tonight. The first half we controlled completely. The second half we pushed till the end to try and turn the deficit and try and get points out of the game.
Oliver Strand?
Hi, thank you. I have a question about the formation. You tend to line up in a 4-2-3-1, I think, almost all of the games in which you've been the head coach. That has been the lineup. Do you have the personnel and the players for that lineup, or is it time to rethink the formation?
We played a version of 3 in the back against Red Bull, and we played 3 in the back against Dallas, so we haven't always played 4-2-3-1. We also played 4-3-3 away at Red Bull here.
Christian Hennig?
Some of the depth pieces have been needed of late. Does this run give an opportunity for some guys that maybe haven't been as prominent to step up and show themselves?
Yeah, of course. When you go through a season, the reason that you build a roster and you build a squad is because you're going to need everybody. And you've seen that throughout the season, whether it is Justin Hack going in, whether it is Tavon Gray going in when Anton Tinnerholm was injured. Tati took a huge opportunity when Heber was injured 2 seasons ago. So, of course, the nature of this league is that you are going to need everybody, and everybody is going to get their moment, and you have to be ready.
Michael Ingram?
Nick, you're in a difficult position right now because given the recent results, you could either be patient and give the guys who are creating the chances but not finishing them more opportunities, or you could try to shake things up. What do you expect to see come Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can shake it up any more than I've shaken it up. You know, you've seen Thiago Andrada come in, you've seen Gabriel Pereira come in, you've seen Santi go from off the side to in the 10, you've seen Telles play as the 9, you've seen Heber go in the 9, you've seen Tati play in the 9. I mean, you know, I don't think we can change our front lineup any more than we have across the last 10 games.
In the room, Gianluca?
Nick, I know that obviously 3 losses in a row is not obviously what you want, but there have been some good moments. You dominated a good portion of this game tonight. You had the lead late in Miami. Is there anything, obviously besides the result, where you tell the team, you know, there were some good spells, we did some good things, we were good in this part of the field, even with the losses? Is there something maybe you can take forward that hopefully maybe you can take into Chicago and utilize it, and maybe it'll be a different result?
Yeah, of course. I think I've been pleased with very big portions of Columbus, Miami, and here tonight. But obviously the results haven't been the results that we want. I think in every game, whether you win or lose, unless you're well beaten, you're always going to look at the positives and the negatives and try and correct the negatives and really highlight the positives. And I think the good thing for us is there's been many positives. You know, we were in this position last year when we had a bad spell. The spell was a lot longer than it is now, and we just have to stay together, keep working. And of course, you know, when you win and you win a lot of games, people say that you're really good, and when you lose some games, it's a catastrophe. We just need to concentrate. There's a lot more games to play. We need to focus, regroup, recover, and move on to Chicago.
Michael Allen?
Yeah, Coach. I still think you're really good, by the way. I just was wondering, you've given up 9 goals in 3 games now. Is it possible that dropping Maxi back into that midfield role, for what he does create on offense, do you give up something defensively with that? And is it possible to see that tandem of the double pivot happening again with Hack and Morales, or Zalalem and Morales?
Yeah, I think naturally, when you add another offensive player on the pitch, you're going to become a little bit more open, and you know, we're aware of that. But I don't think we're wide open in the sense of where we give up so many chances. You can see tonight, like 3 goals consistently is 100% not what we need, and we're unhappy about that. But one of them was a penalty. The one in Miami is an individual error. One in Columbus is an individual error. You know, if I go back and look through all the goals, I don't think I can say, oh, Maxi should be here. And Maxi Morales understands the game, and the structure of the team is okay, it's fine. But we have to cut out those individual errors. I think we lack a little bit of shape on the second goal. We're wide open. The spaces between the back line are too big. I don't think it's a midfield space. So of course we'll go and review it. But at the same time, when you lose players and you have to try and find solutions, and you've got so many offensive players, when we lose, we're always going to look at it and say, oh, we should have, we could have. And when we win, we think we're perfect. You got to look at the game the way that it's played, and you know, I'm fully confident that Maxi can play in that holding role, and he did that earlier in the season, and we won football games. So no, I don't think it's a problem for the team.
Can I just follow up really quick?
Go ahead.
Just a question about just especially you mentioned the individual errors and problems with them with these 3 games. How do you fix that for Chicago? Like, how do you deal with individual errors like that? It seems to be a pattern now in the last 3 games.
Yeah, but I think we have to get back on the training pitch. We have to encourage people to refocus and take time to recover. And you know, it's been a really busy season for us. And the players, when you lose players, you have to keep rolling with players. And you have to keep pushing them. And of course, a change in coach and maybe a slight change in style. There's opportunities where you're going to make individual errors, but there's errors all over the game for every team. You know, I'm sure that when they look at our goal, they'll see, oh, we should have, could have. For us, it's about just refocusing and getting back on the training pitch and making sure that we prepare for Chicago and that we're fully recovered. And I have so much belief and so much confidence that we'll overturn this quickly.
Right.
Coach, I'm wondering, after when you have 3 losses in a row, and this is your first time head coaching in this league, at least you've been through this before, of course, but how does what you just told the guys tonight different than the last loss or the loss before that? Is this a different moment now? And how do you approach it?
I don't think it's a different moment. Of course, every time you lose, and when you start to lose back to back, you start to get really frustrated. But when I look in the guys' eyes, they're so hungry and so motivated to fix this. And you see tonight the way that they work. You know, we're not going to overthink this. It's 3 defeats in a very, very, very good season. So for us, it's about, be frustrated, draw on the experience from last season, draw on the experience from when we went through this really difficult spell, and understand that it's about recovery, it's about resetting the mindset, it's about sticking together, and it's about understanding that we're a good football team and not overthinking it. We're a good football team, we'll get back on the training pitch and we'll make sure that we prepare well for Chicago.
Chris Campbell, back on the Zoom.
Yeah, Nick, I know you've talked a lot about kind of what hasn't gone right today in the last 3 games. What, if anything, did you see tonight that was encouraging and were positive takeaways?
No, I disagree. I don't think I've spoke a lot about what's gone wrong. I think naturally you guys will ask a lot of questions about that because it's 3 defeats. I'm incredibly positive, and I think when I look at the performance and the way that we work on the training pitch, we are controlling large parts of the games. And for us, it's about continuing to get the ball into those areas where we can get Santi Rodriguez, Thales Magno, Thiago Andrade, Heber. I thought Heber was excellent tonight for a guy that's been out for so long and, you know, is coming back now and leading the line for us. I thought he was exceptional. So for us, it's about just understanding that we have a style of play. We really value that style of play, and we have to. It's won us a lot of football games, so we just have to continue to work, continue to understand that this league is a really, really competitive and a really difficult league, and that, you know, we're more than capable in going to Chicago and getting a result. But we just have to focus and reset our mindset.
Final one, Scott Scherzen.
Hey, Coach. Yeah, just to piggyback on something before. During this streak right now, you went through the streak last year for the month where you went 0-3-3 with only 2 goals. Are you looking back on that 1 month and saying, look what happened there, and you're going through this right now? Thanks.
I think there's many things that you look at. You know, you look at previous moments in seasons. You look at draw on experience from previous seasons, see what we did in those moments. What did we think worked? How do we think we fixed it? How do you think what did we change? Did we change anything? Of course, you draw on all of those. And also earlier in the season, you know, we went through a difficult period at the start of the year when we lost to LA, and then we drew at Vancouver, and, you know, we lost home to Philly. And of course, you know, this team is an incredible team of players that really want to win for our fans and our football club, and we will continue to do that. Of course, they're disappointed. It's natural. But tomorrow we get back on the training pitch and we start to prepare for Chicago, because we know, like I said, you don't turn into a bad team overnight. We're disappointed, but we refocus, we refresh, and we make sure we're prepared for Chicago.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.